Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into our brand new Atlanta Falcons channel. We are very new here at Chat Sports with the Atlanta Falcons, but we're going to try to go ahead and build this channel up as fast as possible. It means we need your help. Go ahead and subscribe down below. The more subscribers we have, the more videos I can do on a weekly basis, meaning more updates on your beloved Atlanta Falcons. So go down below and hit that big red subscribe button. Let's go and jump into the latest Atlanta Falcons news and rumors here. We got to start with the big one, and that, of course, is Matt Ryan. He's restructured his contract, but it's very confusing for a lot of people. And so I want to kind of start today by giving you the rundown and the lowdown on exactly what went down with Matt Ryan's restructuring of his contract. So what's important to note is, yes, the contract is restructured. Yes, it's helping the Falcons get underneath the cap in 2021. The main reason why they did it, because they were over the cap just a couple of days ago. But the real thing to make sure that everybody understands, he's not making any less money. So it's not a pay cut. It's not Matt Ryan pulling a Tom Brady and going, hey, listen, Atlanta, I understand that I make a lot of money and that I'm at the end of my, playing career, or at least towards the end of my playing career. I'm going to take less money to go ahead and help you guys out. No, that's not been the case. Now, I'm not saying he should do that or he owes the Falcons to do that. No, the Falcons agreed and signed that contract, and so Matt Ryan needs to go ahead and get paid. But it is important to go ahead and note the Falcons are not giving him, Matt Ryan is not taking a pay cut to help the Atlanta Falcons out. He's simply moving his money around. The Falcoholic has a great write-up on this to give you even more details than my brief explanation there, saying, quote, let's get this out of the way first. Matt Ryan didn't change his contract. He's not going to make one penny less in 2021. For this restructure, the Falcons converted $21 million of his salary into a bonus, leaving him with a $2 million salary for the season. That $21 million is then divided against his remaining years of the contract, 21 through 2023, effectively pushing $7 million to 2022, and another $7 million to 2023, for a net savings of $14 million on the cap in 2021. Does that make sense? Did you use your calculator out and type it all down? I know it's confusing, but the main thing to focus on in here, they converted some money into bonus money, which means they can move the money forward in order to pay him still the same amount of money he was going to get, just not this year, later on in 2022 and 2023. The main takeaway from this, other than the fact that Matt Ryan is not taking a pay cut, is that Matt Ryan is here for the long term. This, to me, is very clearly a sign the Falcons are obviously sticking with their starting quarterback, and it will be Matt Ryan for at least the next couple of years, because the dead cap money Falcons would have to eat if they were to cut or trade Matt Ryan, let's just say next offseason, is nearly impossible to go ahead and swallow. So everything I've read up on says that if they were to cut or trade him pre-June 1st deadline next year in 2022, it'd be a $40.5 million dead cap hit, which is just ridiculous, and no team is going to go ahead and do that. Now, if he's traded or cut post-June 1st of next year, the dead cap is still $25 million, which is a lot to go ahead and do. So the odds of someone either trading for Matt Ryan and taking on that contract, it still hurts the Falcons because of the dead cap money, and then again, the odds of the Falcons just cutting him to go ahead and free up space to go to potentially get a quarterback, just doesn't make a lot of sense either way. Yes, Matt Ryan, to me, is still a good quarterback, and is still the quarterback that should be the starter right now in Atlanta, but it's not for me to go ahead and decide, because a lot of people in Atlanta want the Falcons to use number 4 and take a quarterback in order to go ahead and get the rebuild fully restarted, and you got to, of course, start a rebuild by getting rid of the quarterback. I think the restructuring Matt Ryan's contract has put a lot of doubt at the Falcons taking a quarterback at number 4. Like, does this still mean that they're going to take does this still mean like they're going to take a quarterback at number 4? Like, are they for sure going to go ahead and draft somebody at number 4? I don't think so, because like, let's say you take somebody at 4, and then what? They're going to sit for 3 years or sit for 2 years? Like, this isn't the Aaron Rodgers NFL that we grew up with, because of course Aaron Rodgers was able to sit for a long time behind Brett Favre and then eventually came in and played. But that's not the new NFL. The new NFL is, if you are drafted in the first round, you start year 1. Now, there is some Patrick Mahomes scenarios where he started year 2, but still, this would not provide Matt Ryan's new contract, or the restructured contract, would not provide a scenario where Justin Fields could start year 2, unless they want to have a quarterback making a bajillion dollars like Matt Ryan to be a backup in 2022, and that just doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm very, very curious to see what the Falcons are going to do at quarterback. Now, Jeff Schultz via The Athletic was reporting about this on Wednesday, and we have that quote for you guys here. We're going to throw that up. Quote, a source said Fontenot believed he had no other viable options, that this decision does not necessarily change thinking on drafting a quarterback with a 4th overall pick or sometime early in the draft. Fontenot and Coach Arthur Smith both have acknowledged the need to prepare for Ryan and Julio Jones' exit. Now, that can be true, but again, would you draft a quarterback at number 4 and then guarantee he has to sit, or you have to start him and then have Matt Ryan's massive contract be on the bench. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think the idea of drafting a quarterback is becoming a lot less likely of a scenario at 4. I think trading back is probably the more realistic reality right now for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if you're wondering, my top quarterbacks in this draft are very simple. I think it's Trevor Lawrence is 1, Justin Fields is 2, Zach Wilson, is 3. I have Mac Jones at 4, and Trey Lance, the wild card, there at 5. That's just my quarterback ranking. Again, people have this all mixed up, and that's just how it works in the NFL. But it's going to be very interesting to see what the Falcons do now at number 4, seemingly as they have Matt Ryan tied up for at least the next couple of years as the starting quarterback in Atlanta. Ask you guys this question: will the Falcons draft a quarterback at number 4? What do you think? Y down below for yes, and down below for no. I'm going to say no, but I know a lot of people out there think that they will, and so I guess we'll find out here on April 29th. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to Atlanta Falcons Today. It's our brand new channel here at Chat Sports as we're trying to get you guys the latest and greatest Falcons news and rumors. We're so far 1,100 subs right now. More subs means more videos all season long, all off-season long as well. So again, bigger subscribe button, or just search the link, youtube.com/Falcons TV. That is all you need to do in order to help get this channel off the ground, in order for us to go ahead and build you guys a great Atlanta Falcons experience. All right, Falcon fans, let's jump into some more Falcons news and rumors here, starting with the pay cut that Dante Fowler has reportedly officially taken, which is great news, I would say, for all Atlanta Falcon fans. Let me explain. So as you remember, last offseason, Dante Fowler was the big free agent get besides Todd Gurley in Atlanta. He signed that 3-year, $48 million deal and was scheduled to make like $18.54 million in 2021, which is a lot for a pass rusher. I mean, goodness gracious. So that is no longer the case. Fowler will now be making about $13 million next season. Still a lot, but $5 million less, and this, of course, helps the Atlanta Falcons to go ahead and get underneath the cap. Matt Ryan restructured his deal to not take less money, but to move money around. Fowler restructures his deal by actually taking a pay cut, which, again, is great news for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, Jeff Schultz via The Athletic has a great write-up on this on his website saying, quote, I've been told Falcons head rusher Dante Fowler, who was scheduled to earn a $13 million base salary in 2021, has accepted a pay reduction to reduce his salary cap figure of $18.541 million. Specifics are not yet official, and they would later kind of become official, saying that he's going to make now about $13 million. So a $5 million cap saving for Dante Fowler, who isn't even worth $13 million based on what he did last year. Like, let's be very clear what Dante Fowler was last year, and that is not a good pass rusher. 3 sacks total, 8 quarterback hits. He only played in 14 games, was banged up on and off the football field. He did not go ahead and produce anywhere near what the Falcons were paying him. And so rather than cutting him, it seems like they worked out a deal to say, hey, we're going to give you a less of a pay cut, or we're going to give you a pay cut to make less, but we'll still go ahead and keep you on the Atlanta Falcons. And listen, they need to go ahead and keep him, as we'll talk about here in just one second. My question for you, though, is name someone else you want the Falcons to go ahead and sign. They've had kind of a quiet offseason, so far. They went to trade for the one tight end, but other than that, Atlanta has not done much. Not a lot of pass rushers left out there, but if there is one, let me know who you guys think the Falcons should go ahead and sign right now in free agency. I've said for a long time, and I think this is simple for any Falcon fan, the Falcons need another defensive end, because there's literally no guarantee that Fowler is going to be good this year. Now, Fowler in 2019 was really good, and that's why he got a big contract from the Atlanta Falcons. If he could be that guy this year, he's obviously worth $13 million a year. But other than that, I mean, you think Marlon Davidson's going to go ahead and become a really good pass rusher? I mean, we know what Grady Jarrett is, but he's not really a pass rusher. He's more of a pass lane clogger, run stopper. He's a good pass rusher. He's a great defensive tackle, but still a tackle. They don't have anybody opposite of Fowler that would make sense and be a legitimate starter. That's why I still feel like they're probably going to go ahead and draft somebody, just because, as you see, the depth chart is just really bad. I mean, you go through all the Falcons' needs right now, and pass rusher still remains absolutely number one, even with Fowler staying here and restructuring in Atlanta. Now, the top defensive end prospects are good, but none of them are top 5 potential in the draft, maybe even top 15. I think Kwity Paye's probably your first pass rusher taken off the board out of Michigan, but somewhere in the teens, right? Like, I like Gregory Rousseau, but he's not worth the 5th overall draft pick, the 10th overall draft pick. He's just, none of these guys are Jadeveon Clowney when he first came out. None of these guys are Chase Young like we saw last year. There's not this superstar Nick Bosa. There's not this superstar can't-miss pass rusher, which should be what the Falcons take at number 4, but they won't, because, I mean, Azeez Ojulari, out of Georgia, makes a ton of sense with a Georgia connection, but he's still like a 20 to 30 late first round draft pick in the 20 to 30s. Like, it's going to be tough. And so my real question again becomes, what will Atlanta do in the first round at number 4? 4. I think it'll be trading back to go ahead and potentially take one of these pass rushers later on in the draft and pick up additional draft compensation. Other people think it'll be quarterback, but I'll leave it up to you. Who should the Atlanta Falcons draft in round 1? Give me the name down below. Now, you can say that you want them just to trade back and then take, Gregory Rousseau, which is a real possibility. Let me know about that down below. But if you think it's a quarterback, then tell me which one and say if they'll take it at number 4. I'm very curious to see what you guys think in terms of that, because I'm telling you, Atlanta has a lot of question marks going forward, and not all of them can be solved at number 4 overall, but number 4 can go a long way in solving a lot of their issues, and that's obviously one of the big things we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on here as we keep an eye on the Falcons, as we always are going to continue to do. So Fowler takes that pay cut. It's going to help them out, at least from a cap space standpoint. Will they sign somebody else? Who knows? But the draft remains the main focus right now, as Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are trying to go ahead and reload and rebuild and revitalize this Falcon football team that has been really, really bad at bottom of the NFC South over the past couple of years. So again, who should Atlanta draft in round 1? Let me know who that is down below by giving your comments right now. Ultimately, for today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. Again, just getting started on this channel. I want to make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, because we are trying to build the best Atlanta Falcons YouTube channel that we possibly can. We do it with your help. For Atlanta Falcons Today, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off the rest of your day.